Shalom, TikTok. How is everyone on this grand yom? You know, today I'd like to talk about the most important day in world history. This day stands above all days. You know, the Bible calls it the great and terrible day of Yahuwah. You know, for years I missed that great part. There's great, it's twofold, folks. It's great and terrible. But today, let's talk about this great and terrible day. You know, I put this image out there yesterday to see if who all could see what I saw. But 9/11, we remember 9/11, don't we, folks? Well, it was 25 years ago that a lot of us remember where 9/11 stands out in our mind. You know, what was it about this day that was so important? You know, Revelation 9:11 talks about the king of the bottomless pit, Abaddon. And you guys can look around in this image, but Yahuwah showed me many years ago how to decode words. And you can see here, wedding day. You see anything odd about wedding day? You see, one must give up this flesh in order to get his new temple. But you guys, you can look at this, but that old number 11 right there is very significant, folks. That's why you see, remember the old peace symbol? Well, really, folks, that's showing you the number 11. You know how people used to hold this sign up behind people's head and stuff? Well, Abaddon. But anyway, you know, 9/11 this year is on the Feast of Trumpets, which I find very, very, very interesting. And you guys can go down through here, but I think what might happen on this day here, folks, is the man of lawlessness be revealed, and the narrow escape happening all at the same time, in the blink of an eye, like the Bible says. You know, I wanted to do some reading to you folks, but up here at the top, I got to move quick, but I put wedding day. Is the wedding day on 9/11/2026? But let's do some reading here, and I put the question, is Sukkot known as the wedding feast? And then we're going to go down here and read. No, Sukkot is not officially known as the wedding feast in Judaism. I'm going to say in Israelism. The Israelites, not these, but the true Israelites. Though it carries heavy wedding symbolism. In the formal biblical names are Chag, however you say that, festival of ingathering, like a gathering, folks, a gathering of the set apart people, and Feast of Booths. The visual, historical, and prophetic links between Sukkot and wedding themes explain why the two are frequently connected. What if it would have been so simple as, this is the day, folks. You just had to get the year right, folks. Let's see what it says. Visual and symbolic connections. The Sukkot, or as a chuppah, however you say that, temporary booth structure, mirrors a chuppah, the traditional Israelite wedding canopy. Both represent an intimate, covered space of divine protection and shared life. Is this the time we get to share our life with Yahushua HaMashiach? The honeymoon period. Sukkot takes place right after Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement in Israelite tradition. Yom Kippur wipes away sin, acting like a wedding day where the bride and groom start fresh. Sukkot is viewed as the joyful dwelling together that follows. What if it was so simple, folks, as this is the day, the great and terrible day? The ultimate joy, Sukkot, is explicitly commanded in the Torah to be the time of total rejoicing. This is the only festival, folks, where it commands us to have a good time. Mandatory 7 days of rejoicing. 7 years, folks. 7 years. In the biblical prophetic connection in biblical prophecy, Sukkot is tied to the future. Many theologians view Sukkot as foreshadowing of the final messianic era and the marriage supper of the Lamb. What if it been so simple? We just had to get the year right, folks. You know what I find strange is in gematria, a wedding is 66. Makes me think of 666. You know, almost sixes, and them nines. Well, wedding day equals 96. You know, when I see that old 96, I always think about the stone the Freemasons rejected. See it up there in the Royal Freemasonic Arch right there, that number 96 or 69, as above, so below. Well, let's read Psalms 118:22, and I see those 11s again down there. See them 11s? 8 plus 1 is 9, 9, 11. See it? The stone which the builders refused is become the head stone of the corner. That's interesting, isn't it, folks? That old number 96 right there is right. That's kind of what holds it all together. You take that out and it falls. The whole arch falls. But I wonder, you guys let me know what you think. What if it was so simple a child could understand? The Feast of Trumpets is the wedding feast. I hope to see you guys there, and I encourage you to get excited. You know, something else that I find very interesting, I've made several videos over the years about old 923. Old 923, you know, it's been put in movies, many movies. 923. What is it about 923? Well, it's 11 days past 9/11. 922, 923 is 11 days past 9/11, 9/12. Interesting. Could that be the second woe or the first woe? But I have a feeling something big's going to happen on 9/11, and then 11 days later, something else is going to happen. But anyway, you guys get excited, and I have a feeling that hell is about to begin here in just a couple, just a few weeks away. And the narrow escape's going to happen. The rapture, what some people call the rapture, of course, it's inverted from the Christian view, but big things I feel like is going to happen here very soon. Everything, the planets are aligning. Everything's lining up. Rumors and rumors of war. The timing seems perfect to me, folks. I hope to see you guys at the wedding feast. The very few that make it. Come on in, folks. Yahuwah says to go out and invite them in. Whether you want to come, it's up to you. Shalom.